Hey, what's going on, everybody? Max here with BB, and today for 10 Minutes Max, we are going to be doing a little majors update for crypto and I guess also stocks. There's definitely a few key items that I need to address with you guys regarding previous plans or courses of action that we were watching from a technical perspective as we head into the weekend. Before we dive into it, guys, do me a solid and please like the video. It really helps push the content. And also, if you are new here, consider subscribing to the channel. Before we discuss where we're at right now, we need to rewind the tape a little bit. Let's take a look at the video that I posted talking about this scenario and why I thought this was potentially going to happen on the last trading day of April. It wouldn't surprise me to see us dip down here a little bit. But again, we are also, I think contextually, it makes sense to acknowledge that we are sitting at a 2-month range low. And in the video yesterday, if you guys saw it, we have a very backloaded week. All right, we have FOMC in 24 hours. We have initial jobless claims and jobs data coming out tomorrow. 2 days from now, Thursday, and then the U.S. unemployment numbers come out on Friday. So typically, what you see with something like this is you would see us come back in, fill like half of it, then move up, which would be, in my opinion, a nice deviation from our range. Nice little shakeout, nice little bear trap, but it really doesn't change anything for me personally. You can see how price action has progressed forward and how things have actually played out. One of my favorite things to do is to come up with a plan. I save all of my drawings, and when I stencil in these drawings, this technical analysis, it's not to brag and say, hey, like I told you so. I also told you, hey, I think this is going to happen, but I told you I'm not going to do anything about it. I didn't hit a short here. It's just I come up with a plan, I attach a probability to it so that if and when it happens, I'm not surprised. There's infinite possibilities, but it is refreshing to see that so far the market is respecting more or less these levels that we thought were most probabilistically going to happen. So again, we did take out all these lows. We dipped below our range low, put in a really solid, in my opinion, deviation or a bear trap, and are now moving up. Something that I would keep, a close eye on would be, maybe something like this, retest the range low, and then, potentially move up, or we could just go straight up, right? But either way, the real important thing to note here is anybody that shorted or sold down here got taken for a ride as expected. And if you come back into this kind of purple region, it's again, we're still in this range. That's all that this is this is a range high, mid range, range low. And anybody that got too cute down here and thought it was a good idea to sell, or was fearful or tried to short, got thrown around. And something that I mentioned in my previous video that we just took a snippet of was we have a very we had a very backloaded week, right? Wednesday, we had FOMC. Thursday, we had initial jobless claims here in the US. Friday, that's today, we had US unemployment numbers. And I said in my last video, it's pretty unlikely that you would be able to just short an aggressive bleed in risk markets into a backloaded week with very important economic events. I haven't seen that happen. It's just not that simple. So, again, here we are. Like we got through the end of April, we got through the tail end of this backloaded, heavy economic data release week, and we put in a hell of a bear trap. So really constructive price action. I am expecting much higher prices, as explained numerous times, but things look really great. Things look great. It couldn't look much better than this. So barring some sort of weird, unforeseen piece of data or a black swan or something like that, things look solid and constructive for higher. Let's talk about ETH here. So I actually did do something, and I put this out on Twitter. Let's take a look at my tweet real quick. Here it is. I basically said, I bought some more ETH at 2,900, and I haven't bought any ETH since last year at 1684. This is only the second time that I have actually purchased more ETH, and I thought this was, in my opinion, one of the more juicy and high probability of success setups that I've seen in ETH, basically since late last year. This was incredible. So we're going to talk about the confluence that we're seeing here and why I did what I did. Okay. And I know that ETH is, boring, right? You want to hear about like meme coins and high risk stuff. But again, a lot of the stuff that we watch is, directly tied to Ethereum. Like you can't expect your meme coins to perform that, that well unless ETH is performing well. And I do think that ETH is really poised to shock some people here in the near future. So we're going to draw a range from our all-time high, the Pico Schmico top, to the Pico Schmico bottom. All right, here we go. Wouldn't you know, we have our mid-range right here. And I will, we're actually doing something that, in my opinion, we basically already did this for stocks. This is the NASDAQ. Pretty incredible here. Let's go from the Pico Schmico top for the NASDAQ all the way to the range low. Again, all-time high to bear market low. And look at what happened late last year, guys. Same exact thing. Aggressively move up and actually swept our bear market complacency shoulder. All right. Or previous bull market complacency shoulder. Probably makes more sense to say it that way. And now let's take a look at where ETH is at. All right. Again, so here's ETH. Looking similar as always. Range high to range low. And let's draw out our previous bull market complacency shoulder. Would you look at that? In very similar fashion, it swept it. Pretty incredible. We'll even go to the weekly, so it's the same time frame. Look at that. That's miraculous, right? And we see this all the time with, intermarket analysis. Sometimes you'll see, one asset or one asset class, leading the movements of another one. So, I was looking at this and I was going, all right, we saw this same type of thing happen with the NASDAQ. And here, let me even go to the lower time frames. So here it is. The blue line is our mid-range again. This was our sweep of, the previous bull market complacency shoulder. What we saw out of the NASDAQ late last year was, this really intense bleed down, which ultimately, ended up, we put in a little sweep of these lows right here, a final tap of this mid-range, which is our blue line. Of course, here you can see it on ETH, bear trap, and then they turned this thing around with haste and sent it to the all-time high. Now let's zoom in and look at the local market structure here for ETH. So again, very, very similar once again. So here we go, a solid compression, right? And then, taking all these lows again right here, you could maybe look at this and then say, these are all like, little bear traps or whatever. But, similarly to the NASDAQ over here, when it swept these lows for your final, exhaustive bear trap to the downside, we saw that same sweep occur here on ETH. It wasn't exactly the same. No fractal ever is, but the same type of seller exhaustion that we really like to see. So again, I was looking at this going, all right, we tagged our 0.5 fib, which is, the blue line. We're in a, falling bullish accumulation pattern. We saw this with the NASDAQ last year, and there's peak fear down there as well. I'll take a stab at it. So I bought a bunch of ETH at 2,900 right on the dot. I caught this wick. And, it's going well so far, but I honestly think ETH is poised for much higher. Wouldn't surprise me to see, this thing move up significantly from here. Additionally, on top of sort of this NASDAQ fractal and again, a lot of confluence with this falling wedge and everything like that, we also had a monthly FVG, all right, right at this level as well. So here's a monthly gap in the chart right here, and we have a template saved. So FVG, we'll label this as monthly. So what this is this is just sort of a void or an imbalance in the chart. Gapped up quickly. You can see there's no wicks between here. It's, it's just this wick and then a big void and then that other wick. So that's considered an inefficiency. Looking, zoomed in on it again, look at this. The mid-range of our FVG, the 0.5 fib of our FVG, is exactly the same as our high time frame Pico Schmico global top to global bottom 0.5 fib as well in this bullish pattern. So it all came to a head when, we had FOMC, Jerome Powell takes the stage, and we're coming into the, the most insane confluence of support on the chart. I said, this is too juicy for me to pass up. I've got a little bit of capital left. I'm going to shove some ETH here. So scooped it hard at 2,900. And I plan to continue holding it for a while, at least for the foreseeable future. I think that things look really, really solid here. Just incredible points of confluence. And that's really what we look for all the time is, we're looking for confluence, you know, other assets, other asset classes showing us the way because we know that history doesn't rhyme, it doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. And we've seen this play out before, you know, look at this. So what am I expecting with ETH? I mean, similarly to the NASDAQ, like I truly am I'm expecting this, and the Fed remained paused and we didn't get, really any poor economic data. And I believe that it was really all priced in beforehand, and I'm expecting ETH to do something like this, similar to the NASDAQ. We'll see exactly how it plays out. But anyways, this was 10 minutes max. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Before you go, please consider liking and subscribing. Additionally, check out the first link in the description below where you can sign up for our Discord. Again, we do over 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours a day of private live voice calls with me and the entire Because Bitcoin team where we get to share charts, analysis, premium things that we don't talk about here on YouTube or on Twitter. And we also do Q&A during those times as well. So you get to chat with me, ask me questions, basically 24/7. It's an unparalleled experience, and you will see exactly why we have so many members and why it's such a high demand product, because we seriously put in more effort than anybody out there. And again, 3 hours a day, damn near, of private voice calls where we get to chat and talk markets and do Q&A. It's fantastic. Additionally, within the next 30 days, you are going to get access for free, included in your existing Discord membership, to our new flagship product called the BB Terminal. We have been working on this thing for over half of a year now, and the beta testing rolls out in 1 week. The public will get it in about 30 days. But if you are in our Discord, you are not only going to get access to the BB Terminal for free, included in your membership, but also you're going to be part of the beta testing team where you get to actually help curate and sculpt what this thing ends up looking like when we roll it out officially. It's going to have heat maps, order flow data, portfolio tracking, back testing, literally everything that you could ever need, all bundled into one super website. It is absolutely a fantastic must-need product. And again, this was built by traders for traders. The Because Bitcoin team meticulously curated what this thing is going to look like, and we couldn't be prouder of how it's turned out so far. Second link in the description below is to BB Academy. If you are eager to learn TA and FA and learn how to navigate these markets efficiently, the BB Academy is for you. Me and the rest of the Because Bitcoin team, again, meticulously and very carefully and delicately crafted everything that you need to succeed in these markets. Right? There's a lot of people out there teaching TA and FA, and some of them know what they're doing, but a lot of people don't. So if you are eager to expedite your journey towards navigating these markets, learning all of our strategies, we give away all the secret sauce. Again, everything that we use as a team, as a collective, all bundled into one convenient, neat, affordable package. BB Academy is for you. That is the second link in the description below, guys. Absolutely tremendous value. Again, you can save yourself weeks, months, quarters, even years learning the wrong strategies by basically just purchasing the nice, neat, bundled premier BB Academy. It's truly a masterclass. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. This was 10 minutes max. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you Monday. Have a great weekend.